Haya, karibu sana wanahabari. Hii ni chama cha wauzaji ya wanabiashara ndogo ndogo Nairobi. Kwa hivyo tuko na taarifa kwa wana Kenya.
Mimi naitwa Jadi wa Maina. Mimi ni mwakilishi wa kinyozi Nairobi, biashara ndogo ndogo.
Haya, hapa kuna taarifa kwa waandishi wa habari kuhusu vile nchi yetu inaendelea. The Informal Sector Workers Association of Kenya is deeply alarmed by the worsening state of our education and health system that should serve as a foundation for national prosperity, but are instead crippled with wastage, misappropriation of funds, corruption, open theft of public resources, parochial interests, and more worse, misplaced priorities. We are disheartened to note that the latest Controller of Budget report revealed that the government spent an outrageous 25 billion on travel in the last financial year, and the Office of the President alone spent a whopping 817 million on printing services, despite the fact that almost all government services have been automated, notwithstanding. As these massive wastages persist, our schools lack basic requirements such as textbooks and stationery, equipped laboratories, adequate capitation funds, as our hospitals continue to run without essential medicines, significantly affecting the survival and destiny of our current and future generations. On misappropriation and corruption in government, billions which have been allocated for social services are routinely siphoned off through inflated contracts, ghost projects, and opaque procurement. The recurring scandals in medical supplies, procurement, e.g. in KEMSA, and stalled education infrastructure projects expose how corruption continues to bleed the very lifelines of ordinary Kenyans. While public officials endlessly misuse their positions to enrich themselves, children from poor backgrounds who cannot afford to pay school fees and numerous levies are sent home due to lack of capitation, and patients continue to die for lack of preventive and curative medical attention. Classic examples of financial rip-off in the last 20 years include the NYS scandal, where over 9 billion was lost, the Afia House scandal involving the loss of nearly 5 billion, and the Aror and Kimarer dams scandal, where 21 billion was reportedly lost in advance payments for water projects that never was. As a result, these late and inadequate capitation disbursements have left schools paralyzed. Head teachers cannot pay suppliers or run programs, forcing students, especially from poor backgrounds, out of school. The suspension of governors' bursaries has denied opportunities to tens of thousands of bright but needy students. Notably, in Nairobi alone, 124,000 learners and hundreds of thousands more in other 46 counties. On health, almost all health facilities in Kenya face chronic drug shortages, with patients being asked to buy medicines from private pharmacies. Maternal and child health programs are underfunded, increasing risk for mothers and newborns. The corruption scandals at KEMSA, where funds meant to combat pandemics and stock hospitals have been looted, remain unresolved to date. When children drop out of school due to lack of fees, and when families sell their last assets to pay hospital bills, the cycle of poverty deepens. The informal sector, the majority of Kenya's workforce, at about 80%, is the hardest hit, as workers are forced to choose between feeding their families, bearing the cost of hospitalization, or educating their children. As a matter of fact, the legitimate representatives of the downtrodden, the Informal Sector Workers Association of Kenya, is calling upon the broad-based administration, and in particular, His Excellency the President, Dr. William Samoei Ruto, to ensure that these measures outlined below are undertaken to caution the poor from sliding deeper into economic predicament. 1. There should be immediate stop of wasteful spending and redirection of resources into education, capitation, and health financing. 2. Restoration of governors' bursaries and scholarships with legal safeguards against political interference, as Parliament consolidates all education bursaries and scholarship funds to facilitate free and compulsory education. Number 3. Real accountability in corruption cases, including KEMSA, NYS, Afiaus, and Aurora and Kimare dams, with prosecutions and recoveries prioritized. Number 4. Speed up the process of public debt audit by Parliament to determine Kenya's actual debt portfolio, prevent theft through repayment of odious debts, and ease the debt burden that consumes nearly a third of our revenues. Strengthen the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission by increasing its budget allocation from the paltry 3 billion to at least 100 billion through a supplementary budget, enabling it to have capacity to detect and deter theft, and also recover close to 1 trillion shillings lost annually through corrupt practices. 6. Prioritization of sustainable development goals, number 3 on health and number 4 on education, as the backbone of inclusive national development. In conclusion, our association is determined to use all the available legal and political options to ensure that public officials cannot continue to hammer-feed billions of taxpayers' money through pilferage, corruption, open theft of development funds, and wanton wastage of public resources, while our children sit at home and public hospitals go without equipment and essential medicines. Thank you.